We've always had something of a soft spot for short travel 29ers here at MBR. Maybe it's because they can offer a tight, punchy ride that's nothing short of exhilarating. Or it could be that it's nice to take a step back from big travel bikes and ride something that's just as fast and fun uphill as down. Whatever the reason, the Specialized Camber has always been at the top of the heap. For 2017, it has gone under the knife with a nip here and a tuck there. It looks better than ever, and hopefully the outward changes don't detract from its underlying personality. Trek may not shout the loudest, but it has been singing the praises of 29-inch wheels for longer than anyone. We've already tested the Fuel EX Plus this year, and it narrowly missed out on the top spot of our Trail Bike of the Year shootout, so it will be fascinating to see whether it can seal the deal in 29er guise. The biggest changes to the camber for 2017 have been to the sizing. The chainstay length has shrunk, the front centre has been stretched, and the reach has grown. It actually shares the same front end as the Stumpjumper, but it only gets 120mm of travel and uses a narrower back end, so it's not Plus compatible. Up front there's a RockShox Revelation, just like the one on the Trek, but it gets a bit less travel and doesn't have the boost dropouts and wide stance of the version fitted to the Fuel EX. Still, the internals are identical, which means that the action of both forks is supportive and sensitive in equal measures. The new Fuel EX delivers 130mm of travel and gets an Alpha Platinum aluminium frame with double pass smooth welds and complex hydroform tubes that could be easily mistaken for moulded carbon. While the Plus version runs the Mino Link flip chip in the high setting, paired with a 140mm fork, the 29er uses the low position and gives up 10mm of fork travel. The real beauty of this system is that you can choose which geometry you prefer. Specialized Signature Auto Sag feature is installed on the camber's Fox Float shock to help with the initial setup, but as we'll get to in a minute, it doesn't guarantee a perfect balance. Because the camber uses the Stumpy front end, it also gets a tall head tube, and the long high-rise stem just makes matters worse. There's no dropper post either, and you don't even get a quick release seat collar, so you'll need an Allen key to hand if you want to lower your saddle for descending. The fact that the Trek comes with a KS E30 Integra dropper post just makes matters worse for the camber. Both bikes run 2x11 drivetrains, so there's no shortage of gear choice, but the action of the Specialized SRAM NX shifters feels more laboured than the Shimano setup on the Trek. It should come as no surprise that changing the vital stats of the camber has changed the balance of the bike. It still delivers a fast, fun, dynamic ride, but we struggle to get the shock to work in harmony with the fork. Yes, the super supple rear suspension offers great small bump sensitivity and loads of grip, but the lack of support from the rear shock means that the bike feels like it's hinging in the middle of the frame. Running the Fox Float shock in the mid-compression setting helps, but you lose compliance as a side effect. A better solution would be to add volume reducers, as this would give more support without adding harshness. Trek runs its familiar ABP suspension design, and it's a layout that has some genuine benefits. With the seat and chainstay pivots concentric to the rear axle, the braking characteristics are decoupled from pedalling and bump forces. It also makes for a stiff structure, so you're not leaking power through frame flex. Trek has also nailed the shock tune. The Fox Float Evil offers just the right amount of support to stop you ripping through the travel, while the light damping touch ensures that it's still smooth off the top and never sucks the life out of the ride. The camber doesn't feel as solid as the Trek Fuel EX either. Factor in the less modern geometry, overly long stem and lack of a dropper, and the camber is fighting fires on several fronts. Great bikes always flatter your riding by making everything seem a little bit easier, and so it's the case here with the Trek Fuel EX7. Whether you're grinding up a climb, pumping down a flowing section of primo signal track, or simply hanging off the back surfing a steep, sketchy descent, the Fuel EX always keeps its cool. It's more poised than the camber, and yet it's every bit as playful. Stomp on the pedals and power delivery is impressively direct. There's even a 6 strong size range, and our 19.5-inch frame and 60mm stem felt perfect for a 5'11" rider, which gives plenty of scope for taller and shorter riders to enjoy what is arguably one of the hottest bikes of 2017. The new Camber appears to combine aspects of the Stumpjumper with the Epic to give you the best of both worlds. Unfortunately, it rides more like a bike of two halves. The 120mm suspension is out of sync with the fork, and the long stem robs you of confidence when trying to attack the descents. It just can't keep up with the mesmerising pace of the Fuel EX7. Not only has Trek built a trailblazer, there's a subtlety to the ride quality that lets you dance up or down every trail at a scorching pace. Trek is on fire at the moment, and the Fuel EX might just be its hottest model. Not only does it look smoking, it's right on the money, both in terms of value and performance.